Welcome back to another Professional Picks college basketball video. We're now 10-0 in March Madness on an incredible run right now. And I just got home not too long ago, but we're way too hot to not get some picks out for the Elite Eight. And then lastly, everybody in the comments, I really appreciate it. Please keep it up. But with that, we're going to jump right into our games. First one, we have Houston versus Villanova. And Villanova is actually a 2.5-point dog, although being the higher ranked seed. I really think this is a lot due to Houston just absolutely dominating Arizona. But at the same time, I don't think that was a great matchup for Arizona. They have a lot of big players, and half of Houston's offense is running teams out of the gym and just beating them down the court. Personally, I think this is a really bad matchup for Houston. Like I said, they want to run teams down the court, but Villanova is a team full of guards, undersized wings, guys like Brandon Slater, Jermaine Samuels. They're going to be able to get back, protect the paint enough. And on top of that, I think Villanova is just the more talented team. They can shoot threes better. I really think it's going to come down to who can hit more threes in this game. But personally, I don't think Houston is going to be able to exploit Villanova as much as they have when they face a team like Illinois and they just run Kofi down the court. Can't just catch up. Same with Arizona with Koloko, Azuolas Tubelis. They just can't get back fast enough. But this Villanova team doesn't have a dominant interior force. They like to play on the perimeter, like to shoot a lot of threes, and they play good defense, similar to Houston. And Houston's a very balanced team, but as mentioned, I think a lot of it just comes from their defensive presence. They grab those boards, run back down the court. But on top of that, I think Villanova played a very, very tough non-conference schedule. I remember they played UCLA very early on, and they played Gonzaga, played a lot of tough teams. And I think that's going to prepare them very well for down the stretch. They know what it's like to play top teams consecutively, whereas Houston didn't really get to see that as much in their conference. I think Jay Wright's going to have his guys ready. As I mentioned, Brandon Slater, Jermaine Samuels are going to be able to get back. I also think Colin Gillespie is going to be a real X factor in this one. He didn't play too well in their last game, but if he's hitting threes, getting to the line, making smart plays, I think he's more skilled than really anybody Houston has. We have Kyler Edwards here as the X factor for Houston. He's played his best basketball here down the stretch, and that's really propelled them here into the Elite Eight. But on the season, he's shooting under 38%. I think he could have one bad game like he had many throughout the season, and they just won't have the offensive firepower to keep up. And for that reason, I'm taking Villanova here, plus 2.5. That's our official play. Not going to go too much farther into it. You guys can say whatever you want in the comments, but been really hot, letting the picks do the talking. And then the next game, we have Duke versus Arkansas. Duke, 3.5-point favorite. I think this is a pretty fair line. But last game, I told you guys that the refs and free throws would be the difference for Duke versus Texas Tech. Duke shot 8 more free throws in that game, ended up making 10 more free throws, and they won by 5. Do the math. That was the difference in the game, honestly. And the way this is going, the Coach K agenda is real. They're going to want to get that rematch versus UNC in the Final Four, just for TV ratings, and then really just for Coach K's legacy. He was absolutely embarrassed in his last matchup against North Carolina. They're going to want to give him his second chance. And then just looking at this actual matchup, though, Arkansas plays great defense, but they're not as good as a defensive team as Texas Tech was. And I think they might have a little bit more on the offensive end. But quite honestly, I thought Gonzaga just had a really bad timing in playing one of their worst games of the season in the Sweet 16. I think Duke wins this game pretty handedly. Regardless, I think they're going to get more free throws, even if they don't play that well. And I think that's going to allow them to cover in the end. Also, one of my talking points in the last video was Jalen Williams getting in foul trouble, and that really hurting Gonzaga, or hurting Arkansas against Gonzaga. That didn't happen. But once again, that's always on the table, especially with a team that's really strong in the paint. Paolo Banchero, Mark Williams, they'll just hammer it down low. Honestly, I think Coach K is going to be able to recognize that, and I think the refs are going to allow them to exploit that. Jalen Williams gets in foul trouble. I don't think Arkansas is going to be able to keep up. JD Note, firecracker player, also didn't shoot too well from the field last game. Still had, I want to say, about 20 points. I just don't think this Arkansas team is that great. I took them plus 9.5. I did not think they're going to beat Gonzaga. They're not a better team than Gonzaga. The play here is going to be Duke minus 3.5. I think they're going to have whatever they want in the paint and just absolutely dominate this game. Both plays are for one unit. And I know it's a bit of a quicker video, but it's 1 a.m. here. Just want to get these plays out for you guys and keep this streak rolling. Just the recap here. We got Villanova as the 2.5 point dogs. That's the official play. I'm also personally putting some money on the money line. I think Villanova wins this game outright. And then, like I mentioned, we have Duke minus 3.5. They beat Texas Tech by 5, and I think Texas Tech's a better team. Obviously, that doesn't exactly translate, but just the way this matchup is built out, I think Duke is going to get whatever they want in the paint, and people might be a little bit higher on Gonzaga or on Arkansas after beating Gonzaga, but I attribute that more to Gonzaga just having a horrible game. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know about half of you guys are riding with me, cheering with me. I know about half of you guys also fading about everything. Hasn't done too well for you guys so far. So just keep that same energy going. I just love all the comments. And also please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And then we'll just wrap it up with our promo. As always, we have our partnership with Prize Picks. You can see there on the left, they'll match your first deposit up to $100 using our promo code PROPICKS. You could use this app in betting in legal states such as Texas, California, and Florida. And you make entries on player props. They also have a lot more promos lately, such as the Taco Tuesday, where they'll shave a player's points amount that they have to score and say half. And so you take the over. If it doesn't hit, they usually refund it as well. It's a growing app, very popular. A lot of other YouTubers and just bettors on Twitter have their own promo codes as well. But if you guys haven't looked into it already and you're looking for more ways to just engage and gamble on these sports, I think you guys should definitely give it a look. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep hitting the comments and let's stay hot. Let's make this 12-0.